It is 12:45 at night. I just got home from a very tiring day at work, and I am now learning that 11 years ago, Death Battle premiered. The first episode was released onto ScrewAttack's YouTube channel, and since then, that show has pretty much not only changed the course of internet history, but also effectively changed the lives of so many people around the world. Who would have thought? A show involving characters, fictional characters that these guys don't even own, fighting each other to the death, and them trying to figure out who would win, would end up bringing so many people together, causing so many friendships and relationships, and forming so many teams and different channels inspired by the idea, etc., etc. You guys all know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I heard that, you know, today was basically, I don't know if it's like today, but like, I don't want to go to the wiki right now to find out, but as of right now at this moment, it's been 11 years. So, I didn't really get to say much in the form of like a video like this when the 10th anniversary happened. So I figured, not at the 11th is here, and the season finale is in like a few weeks. Better late than never. But I just felt like making this video because I feel like there's a whole lot more that I need to get off my chest, as opposed to making tweets and just simple text messages and the like, because there's definitely a lot of people that I need to thank, and I definitely don't want to make like a huge thread thanking everyone. I trust that, like, if you are a true friend, if you are someone who genuinely cares, you will probably watch this video. But either which way, I also want to just express right now, this video is like 100% unscripted, and I'm probably also not going to edit it, so you might see some moments where I stumble upon my words and where I'm taking brief pauses to think about what I say. So I'm just letting you guys know right now. I'm going to try my best to not do that as often, but chances are you will probably see a lot of it. So just giving you guys a heads up. But Death Battle. This show has definitely changed my life. I'm not sure for better or for worse, but it's definitely taken me places. So I guess for starters, I first saw the show literally 10 years ago. That's another reason why I really wanted to make this video, is that, we're celebrating 10 years, and as of right now, 11, and I think it's safe to say, as of right now, I started watching 10 years ago, so I was like 15 when I first discovered the show. And the way that I discovered it was through Starscream versus Rainbow Dash. That was my very first episode of the show. And I know a lot of you guys don't think too highly of that episode. I know there's a great amount of you out there that dislike it. It's perfectly fine, but that's a season 1 episode, and honestly, looking back on it, I still think that's probably one of the better My Little Pony episodes we've ever gotten from the series. Not to go too off on a tangent on that, but yeah, honestly, in my opinion, in terms of like how at least the MLP side of things was handled in that's probably the best we've ever gotten. I'll just say that much. But again, if you don't really like that episode, it's fine, but it's still one that I hold very close to my heart, and honestly, without an episode like that, I probably would not have gotten into the series, and I definitely would not have been, immersed in the versus scene. and that was entirely new territory to me. Like I was just like I was a brony first before I joined the Death Battle community, and so I found out about that episode when it was first posted on Equestria Daily. For those who don't know what that is, Equestria Daily is basically the like the number one MLP news site to go to for fans to see like updates on what's going on with the franchise and things that are made around the community. And the Death Battle was one of those things that took off and made the front page of the site, and I was there the day that it was posted. So I saw the episode and I really liked it. So I went back and watched all the Ever Death Battle episodes that were on at the time. I think this was before like Master Chief versus Doom Guy had come out. So I just caught myself up with every other episode prior from the beginning. And I was amazed. I was very impressed with what I saw. Like, there was, I'm sure there were similar concepts out there on the internet, and there were definitely like similar things beforehand. Like, obviously it's been said that the show's based on Deadliest Warrior, and people have also drawn inspirations to Celebrity Deathmatch and other similar kind of ideas. But a show like this, the way that it took off was really one of the first of its kind that really like was successful. And in retrospect, it's cool to see that it's just still around like over 10 years later, like still kicking strong. Like, who would have thought that like this small project, this was essentially an indie show, kicking off into something bigger than it was originally imagined as it was. Like, I'm sure none of the guys out there probably thought about that. So, and it's cool. Like, I watched the other episodes afterwards. I remember catching Eggman versus Wily in a Best Buy on a tablet, which was hilarious. God, I remember the old Screw Attack website, all the different content on there, like the GON community and forums and all that, and the community blog posts and everything like that. I remember the original Death Battle fan blog before they were brought in as researchers. Man, I am really showing my age with this, but like pretty much like every big thing that has ever happened in this community historically, like chances are I was there for like 9 out of 10 events. But yeah, Death Battle took off. It was a phenomenon, and I still remember when Goku versus Superman came out, and I think myself and everyone else collectively lost our shits. To this day, I still think that is probably one of the best episodes they've ever produced. I still go back and watch that, and when we did that Goku versus Superman collab, it was really cool just getting to relive that episode and seeing everyone's submissions and all the hard work they put into that. And I couldn't be more proud of like everyone that like contributed to that, everyone on CX that helped manage that project. I'm jumping a little ahead of myself, but this is just, again, me just thinking of things as everything goes along. So, but yeah, like, there's a lot to be thankful for with this show. Obviously, it goes without saying that, the show has not been perfect. It's had a lot of hurdles along the way. There's even things that right now that I would complain about with the show. And obviously, whenever I want to make it clear that whenever I critique the show, it's out of like my love for the show, because I want to see them improve and to be better. This is something that I've tried to emphasize time and again. I don't mean any malice towards the show whenever I try to criticize it. It's just me like coming from like the heart, because I've defended the show from people for so many years of like different decisions they have made, and I've enjoyed the show for all time, and I just want to see them like be the best. So it's like it's hard to see them like when they do things that you don't necessarily like agree with or think that they should have done. But that's not to say that they haven't done a lot of great things, like for as many like things that you might disagree with the show, they've done a whole lot more amazing things, and that's the things that we definitely want to remember the show more for, like the amazing animations, the fantastic research that these people work really hard on. The voice acting, the directing, the writing of like several of these episodes, just phenomenal. Like, there's a reason why episodes like Snake versus Sam and Iron Man versus Lex, and a more recent example, Falcon versus Cage, are just so memorable in a lot of people's heads because, like, these episodes just have, like, a lot of great values that make them memorable. Like, they represent these fictional characters faithfully. They remind us of why we love these characters. They give us shit to meme on. Um, there's just so much to love about Death Battle. And I'm very thankful for the show because if it wasn't for it, I wouldn't have met so many of the friends that I talk to basically every day, and so many of the people that I work with and communicate with on Discord and Twitter, different sites. And without a doubt, if there was no Death Battle, I'll tell you guys right now, it wouldn't be this. There would definitely not be this. So, I retroactively owe it to Death Battle for, retroactively causing Just Another Crossover Fighting Show, which eventually rebranded into Crossover X, for that becoming a thing, and for allowing me to meet the people on the team, and people like DJ and GA, Vocal, Tyler, like everyone that, like, if I don't name you, doesn't mean you're not significant. It's just, there's so many people to name and it's late at night, so I don't want to remember everyone. But you know all the people that I've met, like, shout outs to my dudes at, like, the Golden Oak Library, Golden Oak Archives, Compendium, uh, you know, the people that I've met in the Death Battle community. Shout out to all of you guys, all the artists like DK and Ethan, and the music artists, Brandon Yates, just like everyone, the Death Battle team, like the people responsible for making this show in the first place. My buddies over at the Nerdbender crew, like, Richard, Your Only Mate, uh, Spectral Star, Duo Dreamer, Freelancer Amber, all you guys, and just like, there's so many great people in this community. Like, there's so many people that, like, I want to name, and like so many great friends I've made. Yang. I'm trying to think who else. RJ. I'm trying to think. Obviously, I named the Golden Oak Compendium already, but like, my besties, JS and Phoenix as well. And even though he's always been my best friend before Death Battle, I gotta shout out my buddy Lawrence for, like, because he's also, like, a Death Battle fan, and he's watched the show alongside with me for all time, and he's done his own reactions. I still remember that Pokemon versus Digimon live reaction we did, where we literally reacted to the entire live stream premiere back in the Spirit Tech days. You can still see that video on my channel if I'm not mistaken, and you see a lot of, like, cool things in that, and it was still a memorable night for the two of us, and I really had a good time doing that with him. And just in general, just getting to share this experience, and, like, getting to make content like this, getting to watch content like this, seeing all the different indie versus shows come out from all the different people. CX I already named, but, like, the advent of stuff like 1 Minute Melee, Flat Zone, trying to think, I guess, Smash Brackets, like the newest thing on the block. And going way back, Fatal Fiction, who remembers that? Like, I remember that was the first indie versus show I ever watched from, like, back when, Death Battle was on, and I, noticed that show and, like, the related videos at some point, and I took a look at it, and I was like, wow, I am really impressed with, like, the quality of this show. Like, obviously, like, the budget doesn't seem as high as Death Battle, but it's like, these guys make an entertaining show, and it makes it feel like anyone can probably make something like this if they just work hard enough and they just put their heart and soul into it, and they, like, dedicate enough time and put their mind behind it. who could forget the, seeing stuff like, Project Free for All and multiverses before WB stole that name. um, uh, freaking yeah, just there's a lot of stuff. Uh, Ducko and Max. What's your guys' show name again? I forget about it. Yeah, like this is just the stuff that like I'm just thinking about it like off the top of my head, and like I'm just thinking about like all the great times that I've had with like all these people. There's definitely been like some down times as well, but we get through it together, we learn together, and we learn to grow and we move on. Like there's definitely been like a lot of controversial moments in the show's history and with the community itself. I'm not gonna say it's ever been like a perfect road, but what keeps me coming back to like a show and like Death Battle in this community is just seeing all the fantastic stuff people can put out, like just all the art, the fan made stuff, and everything like that. I mean, hell, if it wasn't for Death Battle, I would not have gotten the idea for Timmy versus Twilight, and working on that project for several years. Like, I don't exaggerate whenever I say that. Like, that project has literally been in the works since I was in high school, and for emphasis, I'm 25 years old right now, so I am out of college, like graduated and working a retail job, and I'm in this other chapter of my life than I was 10 years ago, and I never thought I'd be where I am like right now with like the stuff that I'm making with the gang. And I guess all I can say is like I'm excited to see where everything goes next. You know, I congratulate Death Battle again for 11 years of their hard work for making an entertaining show that has brought all of us together in celebration, and to retrospect and celebrate all these characters and franchises. We're celebrating the show that hosts all these franchises like in this combat style kind of format, and it's honestly kind of cool. Like I really can't wait to see where the show goes from here. I can only hope things get better and better. I guess before I close out, something cool I want to show off is this thing. You guys can already see I have my boomstick hat. Bought this immediately when I saw it went up on the shop. I wanted to get like the actually I got the Wisher. I wanted to put it on as well, but I couldn't find it. But I have that as well. I have one of the older Death Battle tees, not the first one, but like the gray one with like the original logo on it. So definitely want to get more merchandise. I have the card game. It's somewhere over there. I really want to play that with the guys. But here's something really cool that I want to get this framed. But for those of you who might not have seen this, this is a very cool poster from Marissa Lenti, the voice director over on Death Battle, one of the nicest people that I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with back in the ye old Ben and M streams, if everyone remembers that. I miss those. But Marissa's just a fantastic person, and I got this off of her website when she was selling this for like a limited time. This is a now convention exclusive print, and it's holographic. As you can see, it is a Death Battle poster signed by her personally to me. Little reference right there, the West Squad. People who tune into those original streams knows what that means. Yeah, as you can see, this is like obviously not an episode of the show, but this is the characters that she's voiced on the show, and this is really cool. I want to get this framed. I really can't wait to to do that when I get a chance, because this means a lot to me, and this show and the people involved with it, both in terms of the people who work on it and the community, have all come through to me in times of like when I needed to be entertained and when I needed something uplifting in my life. And there's been a lot of dark moments in my life, and as much thanks as I give the MLP community, I also have to give similar thanks to the Death Battle community, where even though there were some like mixed things here and there were a lot of great things as well, and I'm just thankful. Like, I really love this community, in spite of its flaws, and you know, if there's anything that I've ever like, if I've ever done or said that like may have like pissed anyone off or something like that, or like if there's something like that, just know that it's not never been my intent. Like, cause I love Death Battle, and I love the idea of these versus matches. Of course, this is not something that I want to dedicate my life to 24/7. I don't think anyone should, unless like you're one of these guys and it's your full-time job. Um, but it's just fun. Like, it's fun to watch with other people. It's fun to debate. It's fun to talk about in a civil manner, and it's just really fun getting to like analyze all these characters and remember why we loved them in the first place. And I'm really hoping that that upcoming season finale shows why we should love these characters and represents them well. I have faith, but we'll see. But either which way, I'm still really happy, and I can't be more proud of Death Battle and everyone involved. And yeah, I'm just thankful. Like, I got not much more to say other than thank you, Death Battle, for 11 years and counting. I'm excited to see what the future holds, and thank you for indirectly causing this. When this is coming back, stay tuned. I got nothing to say on that, but just so you guys know, yes, we're working on stuff. I'm just excited for the future. I guess that's all I gotta say. So, before I keep this going on for much longer with my rambling, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching through all 22 plus minutes of this, and much love. Here's to another 11 years, however long the show lasts, and I can't wait to see you guys around the bend. And hopefully I'll be seeing some of you guys in July as well.